Hey hockey fans, welcome to Goal Line Hockey. And today we're going to do the season outlook of the Los Angeles Kings. So to start things off, looking at this team heading into the season, expectations were tremendously high. And there were some doubters. The Kings are getting old. They're not playing the new speed game, the speed and skill game that we're seeing in other teams around the league. They're a dinosaur. This is an extinct way to build a hockey team. And with some of the contracts that the Kings have signed with some of these guys like Kopitar, Carter, Dustin Brown, the list goes on. Is this team relevant still? And this team, unfortunately, did not prove many people wrong. The Kings had a tough season this year. And looking at the points leaders for this team, Anze Kopitar, 48 points in 64 games. Really, that's below his standards. Dustin Brown, surprisingly, 37 points in 55 games played. Doughty, 35 points in 65 games played. Ilya Kovalchuk, 30 points in 54 games played. And Alex Iafallo with 28 points in 65 games played. Now, definitely looking at this team, we see scoring and point producing going up, and not for the Los Angeles Kings. As your top point producer in Anze Kopitar, he's 48 points. That's not necessarily bad, but we expect more from Kopitar, and I'm sure the Kings fans do as well. And there's no discredit to Dustin Brown. He's having a great season this year, 37 points. But in 55 games played, and that's your second highest point producer on your hockey team, you're just not going to see results in today's game. And maybe you would if you kept the puck out of the net, but that's even been an issue for the Kings this season. Now I'm going to give Doughty a pass on this one. He has 35 points in 65 games played. He's a defenseman, so a 50-point season from a defenseman is more than you could ask for. And he's trying to be nominated for a Norris again and possibly winning one. So hopefully this isn't an all loss for Doughty. I don't put anything on him for this season. The Kings also last summer were able to pick up one of the bigger secondary tiered forwards in free agency, that being Ilya Kovalchuk. And many people had skepticism and thinking that the game has changed too much since Ilya Kovalchuk is left for Russia. He won't be able to produce, and those people look like experts right now because they are right. And fortunately for Ilya Kovalchuk, 30 points in 54 games. It's not necessarily bad. It is not great, though. And Ilya Kovalchuk and the fans and management in LA definitely were hoping to see more from Ilya Kovalchuk. Now, looking at the record for the Los Angeles Kings, 24, 33, and 8 with 56 points. 8th in the Pacific Division, they're dead last, and 29th in the NHL. So, third last in the NHL, last in your division. It has not been great for the Los Angeles Kings this year. And maybe this is for the better, because now you could possibly get a guy like Capo Caco or Jack Hughes or one of those top 5 players maybe in this draft. And a team like the Los Angeles Kings could definitely use that. Some good youth coming through. And with a lot of these veterans we see like Kopitar, Brown, Doughty, they're all great locker room guys. Kyle Clifford, Trevor Lewis, the list goes on and on. They have a really good culture established in LA, winning cups a few years back. People have not forgotten them just yet. And while the fun has kind of gone away for this team winning and making the playoffs every year, not all hope is lost. Back in November, their head coach, John Stevens, was relieved of his duties with a record of 4-8-1. And he was one of the first head coaches to be fired this season. I believe he was the first. And we hadn't seen one get fired really until the Flyers got rid of Dave Hackstall, I think at the end of December, early January. And we've seen how that team has turned around. Unfortunately for the Los Angeles Kings, They have not been able to get that same fate. They just came off recently a 10-game losing streak. Yes, you heard that right, a 10-game losing streak, and the future isn't terrible for this team. We saw recently fan favorite Jake Muzzin, a great hockey player, great grindy, gritty player that really fit the culture of the Los Angeles Kings, being traded to Toronto, and the return they got, a first-round pick this year, who may not be much, but we've seen in years past where a late first-round pick can be a gold mine. Carl Grundstrom, who he definitely fits the mold of a player in Los Angeles, and he may not be as prolific of a goal scorer, but he's a great two-way player and someone that coming into the future, someone to help lead this team in the new direction. He's a great asset for the Los Angeles Kings. Thank you guys for watching us here at Goal Line Hockey. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you really liked it, hit the subscribe button down below. I really want to thank you guys for watching this series. If you haven't watched some of the other ones, make sure to catch up on some of the other videos I have. The season outlook, we're going to continue this all 31 NHL teams. So stay tuned, and I'll see you again soon.